Tea time. Let me tell you a story about a woman who's on her way home from work, and by the time she walks in the door, she cannot believe what she finds. It's her husband and their two kids playing on the floor, wrestling around, having a great time. And she's so happy to see this because when she met him, she had already had a child, and she didn't know if she would be able to create a family with someone new, and she did. They ended up having another child together, and things were going very well between them. So after they put the kids to bed that night, the two hung out in the living room, watching TV together, and she got tired. So she told him, I'm going to go to bed. And he said, I'll join you in a little bit. Well, she goes to bed, and after a couple of hours, she hears the door closing and the car starting up. And she thinks to herself, oh, you know what? He did mention that he was going to go visit his mom, who doesn't live too far away, maybe about 40 minutes, a one-shot road, winding road that he have to take to his mom's house. He said he was going to stop by, and maybe that's what he's doing. So she goes back to sleep. The next morning she wakes up and her husband isn't there. So she's like, okay. And she calls his mom, hey, did he stop by last night? And his mom's like, I didn't know that he was going to stop by. And no, I haven't seen him at all. So now she's worried. And the mother's like, what's going on? She's like, he's not here. And he told me he might come visit you. The car's gone. The mother says, hey, stay right there. Stay where you are. And with the kids, and I'll go and look for him. I'll take that drive down that path to see if maybe he had an accident or something, because who knows what's going on. So the mother immediately jumps in her car, and not more than 10 minutes driving on the way back to their house, she runs across the police barrier with police tapes. Yes, there was an accident, and yes, it was his car. At this point, the police don't know who it is. They just see this car, and they see that it is on fire. It had crashed and went down a ravine. It's on fire, and they're putting the fire out. And they see that there's a body inside. The body is charred beyond recognition, and they're wondering, how did this happen? Well, at the same time, the woman is reporting her husband missing. So they're kind of putting two and two together. It's his car. It has some of his things in it. There's a body inside, so they assume that it's his body, and they tell the woman what happens. So as the investigation goes on and the days go on, they're asking her, is there anybody who would want to hurt him, because it's not looking like it's an accident. In fact, on the preliminary investigation, they found that there was lighter fluid on the car, and they're wondering, why in the world did this car burn up so badly? Like, there's nothing mechanically wrong with this car that will make it ignite on fire, and the body is so badly charred, it just seems like somebody did it on purpose. But as they're talking to the wife, she's just saying, you know what? He had some issues going on. He had a sexual assault charge that had been filed against him, and he was really upset about that. So she's trying to make it seem like maybe he did it on purpose. And she's like, just leave it alone. Just let it go. He's gone. I need to grieve. Well, while she's saying this, they're still waiting for the forensic evidence to come back, and from the autopsy and everything. And a neighbor calls into the police and reports, did you know she has a new boyfriend? His name is Jake. So the wife is already dating someone else. Well, everybody's giving a side eye like, whoa, what's going on here? And the wife is also pushing for a payout on his life insurance, which was $100,000, but she can't get it until they determine that body that was in that car was actually his by DNA match. But the DNA results aren't back yet, so they're still waiting and waiting and waiting. And the police are staking her house out like, let's see if she has something to do with this, because this seems kind of fishy. And they find out that this new boyfriend that she has, he coincidentally looks exactly like her husband, except a different hair color. So they follow the couple out to a diner, and then they approach the couple and ask him what's his name, and he says, my name is Jake. And they ask him for ID, and he gives this ID with this new name on it, and they're like, okay, but they don't let it go. The police arrest both of them, take them to jail, because the autopsy results came back, and it determined that the person that was in that car burnt beyond recognition. It wasn't even a man, it was a woman. So now they're trying to figure out, wait a minute, if they set this fire on purpose so they can get the insurance payout and everything, where did they get this body from? So they're searching all around, like missing persons records, like who's missing? Is anybody, missing somebody? They can't find anything. And they finally questioned the couple, and the couple admit that they went and dug up a grave of somebody who had just been buried 6 months ago, an 80-year-old woman. And they dressed the woman in her husband's clothes and set her on fire inside the car to stage the car accident. All so that he could avoid jail and they could get an insurance payout. True story.